podcast. We are a little short-handed today. We just got myself and Mariachi Viva Texas on here, joined by my special guest, or not special guest because he's always on here, but DJ. He's out. He's on here. We'll be joined by Jason a little bit later on, and our 210 Brahmasita, Miss Jackie. Allergies have gotten the best of her, so she will not be joining the show tonight. However, we will definitely make it a boys' night. At the
Hey,
boys
how we
night.
do?
What's you know how we do it. So um now, as you guys already know, we are gonna have a special guest, or we are anticipating a special guest that would be offensive lineman Mike Brown, who protected our quarterbacks this season. And So while we wait for him to jump on, let's talk about a couple other things that we had on our agenda for today. Starting off by, obviously, last weekend was a huge weekend for the XFL, in many
Hey,
ways.
I can't tell you I told you so, but I
Um,
told you so.
he was the only one of all of us that was saying Arlington was going to win, and yes, you were
I was
right.
saying it for like the last since week 8. I was like,
I
don't
look.
sleep on them.
I'm just
Don't
saying.
sleep on them.
I'm just saying. I think maybe Arlington won, but the fans of the XFL lost. So that's a
I
trade
don't think
off.
so, man. I disagree strongly because I like the underdog story, man. Where everybody would have a favorite. Obviously, it's DC. They was had like what, a 7-point favorite. I mean, come on, man. That was
I
a
would have,
teaser right there. You
but
should know
I
that.
I would have loved the underdog story too if it
Yeah,
was Houston or if it was us.
that's fine.
Um,
Oh, they probably thinking why I got the shades, man. I'm just letting y'all know. I'm just feeling real good. I'm feeling, you know what I'm saying? Because
He's feeling.
I told him, I told him,
Yeah.
I told him. And look what happened. Oh, shout out to Jackie too. She had
Oh yeah, she got the logo.
yeah, and the veterans on and the flag on the back.
Yeah,
So
there you go.
thank
So
you.
thank you,
But
Miss
yeah, you
Miss
know,
Brahmasita.
I told y'all, man. I
But
was like, the
yes, I
Arlington
will
is the sleeper, man.
I will admit, whatever meditation you were doing in the basement of the Alamo,
Here we go.
it worked.
Why
It
you
was
gotta
like
have
Aaron
why
Rock.
you gotta have an excuse? Yo, Jay.
What's up? I just
Yo.
actually got back from the basement in the Alamo.
I'm telling you, it was like he probably did like one of them Aaron Rodgers darkness retreats where he sat there and went like and then came out saying Arlington's gonna win.
Smoke some
Hey,
Arlington's gonna
agua,
win.
all I
sugar
wanted to
weed.
hear y'all say was, DJ, you was right, man. We should listen to you all along. But y'all hate run so deep for Arlington. And y'all messed that up. No, ain't no finger right now. I got the finger because I told y'all hard headed. And I'm the
There,
youngest one on here, and ain't nobody listen to me. But that's fine. Go
only
ahead.
only by a couple months.
Don't matter. I'm the youngest one on here.
there is, and if you flash back to a couple of days ago, I specifically gave you a shout out and said that you were right. I was wrong. I slept on Arlington, and DC got whooped. So
I still don't like them,
Hey,
no, and
you
I'm
might not
I'm
like them,
perfectly
but
fine with
they
that.
and
won.
I
They
will
winners.
I will continue to hate and sleep on Arlington. I'll just put it this way: the day Arlington loses is gonna be a good day for me,
Go
no
ahead,
matter what.
Jackie.
But
Uh,
You said the day Arlington loses is what?
it's a good day for me.
That's
let me
hey, look, keep it with the NFL. If your hate runs deep in the NFL side, keep it on the NFL side. If you don't like Dallas, cool, stay over there.
No, no,
But
no,
over
no. It
here,
ain't.
you got to give. Look, Arlington and Dallas, they not the same. So you got to give Arlington a chance. You might not like Dallas, but just give Arlington a chance.
No.
let me propose this though, right? Because we've talked about this before, and the XFL is the league of opportunity, the league of chances, right? With the league of second chances. Arlington got their second chance when they picked up Perez, and the tide turned for them. Like that is the tide turning there. Um, and Arlington again, I hate to repeat myself, but Arlington getting that second chance to show what they were actually all about. I know I specifically said myself this season that, Arlington was not a great team, that they had issues kind of all over the board. They replace one piece and they make a run and win the championship. Right? So, ooh,
Happy
that,
off season, Woody.
definitely happy off season, but that hurts a little bit too because that's almost like we don't have stuff to do. but we do.
We do. We have plenty of
We
stuff to
definitely
do.
do. Oh, first
Yeah.
off, let me add this too, right? Hey, big shout out to all the staff, all the front office, well, on the outside that we've seen, like
Ops.
the ticket department, the trainers, the come on, y'all, help me out.
Yeah. So,
Who
all
else?
right.
The
So we
everything,
got
man. It's
game day ops. So everyone led by Layla. We got the trainers, the athletic trainers. Thank you for keeping our guys healthy all year. The front office staff, the ticket representatives, ticket office. I am a firm believer that we have the best ticket reps in the
oh,
entire
for
league.
sure, for sure.
They're the first point of contact for so many people, and I've heard nothing but good things
Amazing
from
job,
but by our ticket office. So amazing job to those guys. The entire staff, given the shortened time frame that they
man.
had to work with as they were bringing people on board, what they were able to execute here in San Antonio, and just like we quickly became, as new as we were, the second largest fan base in the XFL, which is amazing. Like, I understand everyone wants to be number one, but you got to realize we had a 3 year we have three like everyone else had a 3 year head start from us, specifically St. Louis, that we didn't have. And I think the very first time we all got together as a group was December of 2022. So that was what, 4 months, 5 months ago now. And the season started in February, so that's 3 months
Yep.
of actually getting together football stuff. So, I mean, to put everything together and build the community that we have in 5 months, and it's yes, huge shout out to the fans, but also huge shout out to everyone on the staff, especially on the marketing side of things. Brad, Jay Noakes, like
Man, the
that.
media team is insane. All the teams, the
Yeah.
media teams are insane. Like the social media team, and I know you scrambled a little bit towards the back end. Well, the beginning of the season to try to hire people and move people
Right.
in certain places. But man, for them to jump on and take the social media back control, they did. They did an amazing job, man. Amazing job.
No, absolutely. Especially with the little bit of time that they had to work with, and just I can't imagine what they got up their sleeves for season two with a full off season to plan. Because
For
if they
sure.
could do what they did in just short amount of time, with the whole off season to plan, I can only imagine there's going to be some amazing things happening. And I was one, DJ, your shades. I was like, man, something's familiar about them. And Brian hit the nail on the head here. You went full heel rock with the shade. So, like, you
Hey,
are
if y'all just
1998 rock.
if y'all just attending, just letting y'all know, I'm just wearing these shades. These are the I told you so shades. That's what they call.
That's what I'm
So whenever I
saying.
wear these, you know
The
it's time
back.
that we
It, this
we we
is
gotta, you know.
this is
You're
the
sorry,
that
DJ. You was right. He was right.
this is the shades that the Rock wore when he was a bad guy back in the late '90s. And seeing as you were like cheering for Arlington, then yeah, that does make you the bad
Hey,
guy. So yeah, it makes
hey, you
sense.
know what? As crazy as you sound, and they was killing you in the stands too, because they was booing you like crazy.
Oh yeah,
But
I loved it. I
as
loved
crazy
it.
as you sound, it was a lot of Arlington fans in there, man. And I don't know if people was just in the San Antonio area that just wanted to come and attend the game, and then just root for Arlington because they're the city in Texas. So I was like, wait, it's a lot of Arlington. Like every time they scored, like
It was
almost
loud.
three
Well,
quarters of the
loudish.
yeah the dome was full with Arlington fans, and then DC had their little small little, well not small, it was a nice little amount of people that they had behind their bench. But besides that, it was loud for Arlington, man. I'm surprised. It felt real home for them. So that's probably the loudest it's ever been, though. Honestly,
For
compared to
our,
back in Arlington, it's probably the loudest it's been
yeah, they
that
probably
they
weren't used to it.
experienced. That's crazy.
So let's talk about that, because I had the pleasure of sitting on the DC side, and DC, I need you guys to contact me offline and let's set up, some training classes, because I need you guys to understand what it means to support your team. Like, I don't mean to bash, and I don't want to point fingers and be a jerk or anything like that. And I'm definitely not trying to, but I saw so many people sitting on third down when their team was on defense,
Really?
they were not making noise. They were not yelling. These poor people, it was a mom and her son that came in. I don't know where they came in from. I didn't get that far in the conversation with them. That were just sitting there on third down. And I'm like, guys, are you rooting for DC? And the son, very adamantly, yes, we're rooting for DC. And I'm like, why aren't you on your feet? Like, get loud, get crazy. Like, your team's on defense. They need you getting loud. They need you trying to disrupt the offensive cadences so they can't hear anything. And the son said, okay, and then turned around and didn't do anything.
Yeah, no, I had the same thing going on in my section. I was right behind the Arlington bench, but there was plenty of Washington football team, Redskins, Commander, whatever you want to call them. Plenty of those jerseys, a couple DC, but there was DC people in my section, right behind the Arlington bench, and I was the one that whenever I would get up, because I was towards the bottom with my anti-Arlington sign. When I did something, they would follow suit, but there was nobody from DC that actually, had the oomph to like, hey, let's go, fellas, let's go. I think it was the beer snake. They didn't have the power of the beer snake, and they also did not have the power of the lemons. Take away that from DC, and
that's not true, sir. That's
no,
not true.
I know they had like a mini beer snake memorial, but they didn't have
the power of the lemons.
Yeah,
100%. My section. Goodness. That's the one thing they did right. They all made special trips to HEB and grabbed those mesh bags of lemons. And
I don't understand how they don't let them in there with that.
They snuck them
it's
in.
Just lemons, man. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. But they bombarded the field. Now I know 210 Brahmasita said something. Jackie, right there, throw that comment up. Jackie herself said that one lemon went flying past her, and I know I saw lemons fly past us and then fly back into the stands. But they definitely did that right. They went crazy with the lemons. They brought that tradition with them. They did a little mini beer snake. Brian Davis and I actually made friends with one of the security. We told you guys about that, several episodes ago. Yeah. He actually went over there and took pictures with the memorial beer snake. But it would have been more like an earthworm, really. I mean, compare the two.
Like, I don't understand if they would go that far to do that. Put him in a bucket behind the bench. Like, why even have one? Just like keep it out. Like, I saw them when the news captured them actually walking downtown.
They were marching from smoke. Yeah,
that was crazy.
Marching from smoke to the Alamo Dome with the beer snake.
That's
that was
not
pretty
good
cool.
Enough for me. You got my broken down beer snake in the bucket.
So. That's what I'm saying though. Like, they didn't have the power of the beer snake, which I think really affected them. But I will say that there were a lot. So I was honestly genuinely surprised at how many Arlington fans showed up, because I did not expect there to be really very many.
Oh, yeah, he was outnumbered for sure.
And that's just genuinely because like Arlington wasn't known to travel. Like, they really weren't. I mean, there's groups of little packs of fans that would go to like other games, right? But Arlington as a fan base was just not known to travel. Now DC, I don't know how they travel for other games, but there was certainly a large presence of them at the tailgate and at Smoke, and I was able to make friends with many DC fans. I think they also appreciated the fact that I wasn't like let me make this clear. I wasn't cheering for DC, but I was cheering for Arlington to lose, which I think they appreciated that. I just want to make that clear that I was not a DC fan. But they hung out at the tailgate, which went off amazing. It was awesome. And even the night before, when we had the Super Show with the X Fan Legion Super Show, like, there was a lot of DC fans that went out there. The DC, I think his name is the DC Defender. He was out there. Captain Obvious was out there. A lot of DC fans went to Alamo Beer. Had a great time singing karaoke, and it was just like a giant reunion of XFL fans, minus Arlington. I didn't see a single Arlington fan come out and join the fun at Alamo Beer. Everyone else was represented. Even Orlando was represented. I think the only two teams that weren't there was Arlington and Vegas at Alamo Beer, but
So they got
everyone
Yeah.
one
else.
Vegas fan. You got one Vegas fan.
Oh, he
Well,
was at
no,
the
no, that
tailgate.
yeah, that was at the
Oh,
game. That wasn't at
Yeah,
the mega show.
but at the tailgate, that was amazing. I mean, that was, camaraderie at its finest. I think we got a picture. I think the X Fan Show was able to get a picture of an entire group that encompassed every single team. We had one Vegas fan there, we had one Orlando fan there, which was awesome. I know a lot of us just like went nuts when we saw like Vegas is here, yes. And then I saw one guy waiting in line for a beer with a Vegas jersey. So that was two Vegas fans. So I was pretty happy to see that. Um,
I saw a mixture in the dome though. Like when we was walking, definitely at the game. Like just
yeah,
walking through the concourse, I was like, wow, it's a lot of. I actually seen every team.
yeah,
Like
like
I've seen a shirt or something of every team.
every team was represented, which I was really happy to see. I was a little worried that we weren't going to get Orlando or DC, just
They
given
had
that they have
a
a,
little bit
have a smaller
sprinkled.
fan base. But they showed up. There was fans of theirs that showed up, and so we honestly had the entire XFL represented in the Alamo Dome, which really made it awesome. And I mean, like I said, at the tailgate, I think, and I would, from what I was told by many fans who came to tailgate with us, they finally got to experience the hospitality and the tailgating that we have been bragging about for so long, that other teams have said, um like, yeah, San Antonio has an awesome tailgate. I think other fans probably really went out, saw that, experienced it, and really saw what true Texas hospitality was like, specifically San Antonio hospitality. And all of this while also helping local small businesses. I mean,
Hmm.
we had Orlando's Texas Barbecue come out there and cater his brisket, and that man, he went out there with, I believe, 10 briskets, which is a lot of brisket.
And I
Not
missed
a
it again.
not a single bite left.
I missed it
Um,
again.
there was not a single bite of meat left. It was all gone. Everyone loved it. I came out there with a bunch of free beer to hand out, specifically this beer right here that I had got on my shirt. And that was gone. As the first time that I came home with an ice chest full of melted ice. Which I was happy about, because I'm always like, drink it, please drink it. I can't drink this much beer by myself. I also, we had the birthday cake that was meant to serve like 70 people. It was the largest cake that HEB had. That was completely gone. Thank you everybody for wishing me a happy birthday who came out there and celebrated also, by the way. So I mean, the tailgate itself was just phenomenal. I think it went off. The weather cooperated. I know there was a big concern with the weather. And like I was telling everybody, it's gonna rain overnight, like biblical level rains, and then during the day, it's gonna look like it didn't even rain, just gonna be cloudy, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
crazy, man.
So
But
definitely the tailgate vibe was awesome, as Noakes is saying. That was a lot of fun. This is probably one of the first tailgates that I was able to get to, like within half an hour of gates opening. I showed up and everybody was already there. Everybody was already set up. And obviously Orlando's barbecue was phenomenal. I made sure, that I went around and was just grabbing everybody that I could, bringing them over to experience what our tailgating was all about, right? The barbecue, the cake, which by the way, I did not have a single bite of, because I saw what it was doing with all the little kids' mouths and all that food coloring and everything. And I was like, no, I am not touching that. But we even, my buddy Brian and I actually went around. We're just talking to some people that had gotten tickets that had really not been involved in the season that much, right?
Yeah.
And so it was an opportunity for us to really plug the Brahmas and get people on board. And it was just it felt, minus the teams that were on the field, it felt just like it would have if it would have been one of our games. And
right,
I absolutely loved that vibe, right?
yeah, and I mean, for me personally, one of the coolest things is that and I'm not saying this like I'm a player or anything like that. Obviously, I'm married, but I was able to connect with a lot of fans and get phone numbers of a lot of fans, specifically from DC, from St. Louis, and not women. Again, I'm a happily married man, but it was a lot of
You got to put that on record.
it was a lot of there were a lot of invitations, genuine like, hey, if you come to DC next season, like let us know, we'll take care of you, we'll make sure that we have as good you have as good a time in DC as we are having here. Same thing in St. Louis, like, and again, like assuming that the schedules will be the same, just flip-flop from what they were this year, where the home games for us are now going to be away games,
Yeah,
minus the divisional games. Obviously, we each play home and away, but
it makes the
um,
most sense. Yeah.
yeah. So assuming they just flip flop the schedules, I'm definitely looking forward to going to St. Louis and DC. I'm making plans for that right now. But to
Yep.
go and know that I have friends there now that I have met in person. And the crazy thing is, it wasn't just Facebook that where I met these people. It was also Reddit. That's it was just awesome. That we go and we have friends everywhere. And now we're joined by our
Mr.
special guest,
Brown.
Hey,
Mr. Mike
Sorry,
Brown. How you
hey.
doing?
sorry guys, I was having a little difficulty with that.
Nah, you
Oh,
good.
good,
You
man.
good.
Come join the
You good.
vibe, man. Come join the vibe.
Yeah. Now we're just recapping the past weekend, man, and just how much fun it was, and yeah, we're already looking forward to next season. We already miss football.
Yeah,
But
me too, man. I wanted. I feel like we should have been playing still, man. Oh
Hey,
so do we. So do we.
man.
tell
Despise.
us front office. We need six more games, man.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
We need 16 weeks, man. Add some teams. We can add 16 weeks.
But
Am I
no,
late? Am I late? I'm sorry, guys. I just saw
not
the.
No, you good, man.
you're good. You're
We'll,
good.
we'll
So
call it
like,
fashionable. It's fine.
yeah, you're fashionably on time is what you are. So why don't you let I guess introduce yourself, let all the listeners know a little bit about you, what school you went to, any, pro football experience outside of the XFL, all that good stuff.
Oh, okay. My name is Michael Brown. They call me Big Mike or Mike for short. I'm Samoan descent. I was born and raised in Compton, California. Let's see. Um, One cool, interesting fact. A lot of people uh, are shocked about when I tell them, and some they know in the past is I've only been playing football for 6 years. I didn't play no high school football.
Wow,
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah, and I went and served a 2-year mission in the Philippines, and I came back, and I was like, you know what? Let's try football out. Let's see if let's see if if I'm pretty good at it. Next, I find myself at the time very naive at football. They just told me, hey, you're big, you're strong. Let's see what you can do. Next, I was all conference in every league, every
Mm.
game.
That's pretty good at football.
Yeah, I was like, hey,
Nice.
turns out I'm pretty good at this stuff. I'll stick to it. And 2016 to 2018, I was at a junior college.
Did you go?
2018 to 2020, I was with the Mountaineers, West Virginia Mountaineers, and I was all conference over there as well. And then from there, I played with the New Orleans Saints, and which was really fun. Had a great time over there. It was just one of those things where you get hurt and it sucks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a brutal business, but it's awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
And then playing with the Saints, I recovered. After I recovered, I got drafted into the USFL.
Yep.
And then I played in the USFL for the New Jersey Generals, and we were a really good team there too. But I think it was around week 9 or week 8, I requested my release to go home to my newborn son. To go home to help my wife.
Congratulations.
Family first. Congratulations,
guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And, am I answering the question right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So the whole thing, what we want to do is, I mean, we don't want to talk too much X's and O's because I feel like you get enough of that on all the other podcasts. We want to just get to know Mike Brown, the person, the guy who represented our city, wearing the Brahmas colors, and let all the fans know this is who you are, and this is why we love you.
Man, I can absolutely do that. I love the fans. First and foremost, you guys were amazing, especially you guys are on the. Man, I don't know if you guys were there, but I was with the fans. Like, we were like dang near close friends. We were just talking to her the whole time. I was like, man, we need you. And they was like, yeah, we see you, big dog. And they were so loud during the that one drive. I forgot what drive it was, but it was so loud that one. We end up like turning it over because I think it was a pick. I turned around, looked at the fans. I was like, that's because of y'all. It was going. They were loud. They were crazy loud.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the things. So, it's my watch tells me when I'm in too loud of an environment. It gives me those warnings. And the loudest that I had that it got recorded on my watch inside the Alamo Dome was 124 decibels, which is just like it. When I looked it up, it was the equivalent of a rock concert, a car or like a race car engine fully revved up, and it's not far off from like a jet engine. So that's how much noise. And this was like one of like either Orlando or DC. I can't remember which game it was that recorded that, but
I think it was DC. I had to be
one. Yeah, DC.
It might have been DC. So that was like around 12, 13,000 fans. And just for comparison, this past Wednesday, I was in the Alamo Dome for a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert. And the Alamo Dome was sold out pretty much. I mean, upper level. The loudest that got recorded was 113 decibels in there. And so you guys played with a louder crowd.
Yeah,
like
that's music to my ears, man.
That's the excitement that you brought to San Antonio. Is I mean, we went nuts for you guys, and can't thank you enough for everything you did to represent our city. Like I said, we're a football starved city, and just knowing that there's people there that are proud to represent us, like, you have our love and support.
Man, like, here's a crazy story. I kind of wanted, like, I was with before the draft and everything, I was supposed to go to San Antonio. There's another crazy little story because before the draft and everything, I was supposed to get drafted by San Antonio, but the USFL, this other side, like other drama, like they're still holding my rights for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that was supposed to be taken care of long ago anyways. But like after everything was done, I was at home and then I got hit up by the Brahmas and I was like, hey man, we need to bring you in. And we just got word that you're free, you're good to go. I was like, hey man, you sign me up, I'm ready.
Who called you?
I get there, the O-line coach, the GM, they hit me up. And then I get there, I think it's January 8th. And a lot of stuff has just been going on. But next year, I went to DC. I ended up getting picked up by DC. And there was a lot of, behind the scenes junk that was just going to be, talked about. But I ended up going to DC for the whole camp. And over there, doing my thing, balling. I was starting left tackle at DC for like the first week and a half of camp. They went to starting guard and just like playing all this stuff, doing really good. But then I end up leaving DC and I come home for a couple weeks and then they pick me back up. And that's how I ended up back in San Antonio, which I was supposed to be at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Destiny.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is where I was supposed to. This is my people. Horse, man. And it was like I end up doing so good over there and just like wowing over here at San Antonio, just wowing them, like Hines Ward, I keep forgetting the linebackers coach, Porter,
Joey Porter, yeah.
Spice, the D-line coach, linebacker coach, Coach Hines, O-line coach, and like just hearing them like boosting up my morale and like complimenting my play skill and telling me like, man, like it was awesome. You know what I mean? I just got there and I remember just hearing at the end, like during exit meetings and everything, and they was like, man, we wish you had you from the beginning. It was supposed to be this way, but they were so impressed by the way I was performing, and I'm grateful, and I want to keep doing it. Like there's a huge chant, like, well, he kind of basically told me he wanted, Hines Ward was like, hey man, I want you back next year. If nothing with the NFL happens, I want you back. And I was like, hey,
let's go.
here.
Is that a nugget?
That's all I
Is
need.
that a nugget?
Maybe not. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Hey, break it.
So, Big Mike, I know you didn't really get a chance to probably tour the city too terribly much and check out too terribly many things. But your time here, what did you think of San Antonio? Like, what did you think of the food, the people, just your interactions with the people all around town here?
Man, that's a good question because I didn't get a lot of time, but I did the last 2 weeks. Like, actually go around and just see. In a way, I had a vibe of Hawaii and a vibe of Vegas in one.
What?
Is that weird?
Well, it was also close to right around Fiesta, so I can see that.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was just sitting there in the hotel. I was like,
Around
it
Fiesta.
feels like Hawaii because they got the river, they got the trees, they got people everywhere. You know, I'm Polynesian, you know what I mean? So like island vibes I can pick up, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Nice.
that's nice, man. It's real nice. At the same time, I got a Vegas vibe because I'm going around. I'm like, whoa. You know,
That's what I tell you.
I'm a married man. I gotta be careful. You know? You can't be doing all that, you know.
Very true.
I tell myself, go out for a little bit, go get some ice cream, get some, Whataburger, sit out
Wait,
there.
you got that feeling that you was like in Vegas down the Riverwalk?
Huh?
Down the Riverwalk?
Like, San
That's where the water at? You felt like it was Vegas down there?
No, that was like to me, that was like the kind of like the Hawaii vibes, the island vibe, just like the water, the trees, the boats everywhere, just going.
So what part was the Vegas vibes?
Vegas was just like everything, like it was crowded. They had bars over here. They had like a set over here. They had food over there. They had ice cream where I can walk and get ice cream. I'm a big ice cream guy. Ice cream's my kryptonite. I'll eat ice cream galore. You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite flavor?
Yeah, it had everything. Like,
now, what's your favorite flavor?
me?
Yeah.
My favorite flavor would have to be cookies and cream. Yeah.
If you come back to San Antonio next year, we'll have a big old tub of HEB cookies and cream, creamy
We gotta
creations
make
waiting
ice
for
cream
you.
signs for Mike Brown. We need a pancake.
Pancake. Consider it done.
We'll get you the ice cream scoop. Ice cream scoop.
I'll
There
go
we
get
go.
it right now.
Where my scoop at,
We
man?
have a sign. He said, "My sign." Hey, y'all know that he won a sign next year.
Hey, tell me now. Tell me
the pancake.
We'll make it happen. We got our other co-host too. She's under the weather today, but she's our sign maker also, and we'll make
Much
sure
love to her, by the way.
Yeah, we'll Jackie, we'll ask her to make a. There she goes. She got that sign for you. So we'll have a cookies and cream Big Mike sign. Get him the scoop. We're gonna have a bunch of see if they'll let us into the island with a scoop.
Let's go.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, and you picked a good time to come to San Antonio because that last week against DC, that was during Fiesta, which is our big.
I know
our big city celebration. It was just party mode all the time, which is probably where you also got a little bit more of that extra Vegas vibe because everyone is just partying and it's all located in downtown, right around where you were.
Right
so,
next to the hotel,
right by Vegas,
Yeah, so
the whole of downtown.
Yeah, the whole of downtown. So we got Mr. Mayor here who wants to know how much can you eat in one sitting, so we know how much to bring for you.
Ooh.
Oh,
How much of that cookies and cream?
Don't say no cup.
Are you talking about just any food or just ice cream?
No,
ice
cream.
Ice cream specifically.
Man, especially after a game and I'm hungry.
I already know. That's
sweated about probably like 15 pounds.
Whoa.
Man, the whole thing, man.
He's got to gain that weight back they lost from sweating it all out.
Man, I tell you, man, that would be the perfect time to eat ice cream. Oh, especially going home too on that bus. That's fine. That's me. I'm the ice cream man. You guys can put that.
I'm the ice cream man.
Okay. Oh, and Mr. Mayor here, he's known for his coming through. So he's gonna bring you some ice cream next year. So
Yep.
Can I share with
next,
the old lineman, or do I just me? Just me.
just you,
Just
man.
Hey,
you.
but you don't want to share?
I
Yeah.
mean, that's up to you if you want to
You don't want
share.
to share?
But just know it's like they brought this for me, man. I'm just saying. So just look for the man, which is gonna be weird to say because we're in San Antonio, but look for the man dressed like a Seattle fan with a big orange polo and an orange top hat. That's Mr. Mayor.
That's Mr.
And
Mayor.
yeah,
Yeah.
he'll
Oh yeah.
have he'll have that ice cream for you. So
Okay.
um
Hey.
so Jackie's over here. She'll eat a toddler weight of ice cream. There you go. So you'll eat an entire person worth of ice cream. I love it.
Dang, that's
Um,
a lot of
Yeah,
ice
that's
cream.
insane. That's insane.
but yeah, no, I mean now I know one of the biggest challenges this season for us as a team was injuries to the offensive line, and so bringing you in, I know towards the end of the season, we really started to see the offense really
Hmm.
gel together in a way that we hadn't seen before. And I honestly, I used to play offensive line too, and a big part of that starts with the offensive line. So
Up front. Yep.
for
Hmm.
you being on that line, especially towards the end, how difficult or easy maybe was it for you to be able to adapt with all those injuries as a unit? You know,
Man. Are you saying, was it difficult, like transitioning into being better, or like,
like
or how hard was it during the time getting ready?
Both. You answer.
what,
You however
yeah,
you feel.
however you feel
Yeah.
would be the answer.
Yeah.
Like, because I know injuries to the offensive line was a huge thing, and that's one of the things that when we were talking with Coach Ward, he was saying, man, like there's no, what are you going to do when when your offensive line is going down? Like you
Yeah.
got to work around the injury. So like being one of the guys that he was working with, what was that like as a unit? Knowing that the guy next to you might not be there next week.
Right.
When it came to our attitude, especially guys going down, like it's one of the natural things for offensive linemen, if you're backup or you're starting. And the one thing about our group was we were so connected to the part where being new at the same time, like in a way it makes it hard, but we were fighting through it. You know what I mean? Because you got new guys and you got old guys, but like that's been there through camp, and then you got guys coming in who want to learn, who want to get better, and especially improve the O line, because that's where it starts. But like from my perspective, seeing everything, like it was just awesome seeing it all come together. Like the last 3-4 games, like we started clicking and getting together, and
Right.
and like it just sucked because when we clicked, a guy went down. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And then we had to figure that out again, and we would do it during practice. During our practice, and the guys, the coaches, they all understood that. You know what I mean? They understood what the O line had to do, and we made sure that we were on top of that the most. There's no one on the team, more than the offensive linemen are trying to get more synchronized than anything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Right.
offensive line clicks, everyone else is pressing buttons. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
That's what we were doing. Yeah, was it hard? Yeah, it was. But like, I think after, I know we lost against Houston, but
Hmm.
damn, like we got better and better after that. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I
And that
think that
was
was one of
time.
the coolest things was like, even like just having Jack, and like me and Jack, like I introduced myself to Jack, talked to Jack, and like I like, this is me personally to the quarterback. I always make a commitment to any quarterback I protect. I go, I will protect you the best of my ability. And if I even get pushed back, a 2 or 3 yards, 4 yards, to me that's bad. And I promise I won't let that happen to you. And like, I'm not saying, promises are different from when you're actually playing, because we're all pros. You know what I mean? It
Right.
happens. But like, that's the same mentality that I felt like we all had. And as those last 3 games going, because that mattered the most for us. I know it sucked. We put ourselves in that situation, but like we were still in it.
Hmm.
Right.
We lost
Mhm.
and then they gave us the news, hey, we're still in it, and we was just like, oh, bro, we're back on this bitch. Oh, sorry, excuse my language.
Nah, you're good. You're good. You're good.
Like,
You're good, man. You're good.
and we were just like, bro, we still in it. And then we went straight to practice. We was helping each other out. We knew the man went down. One of our guys went down, or some guys stepped up. We were all connected, and we were just trying to get better and better. And then we played Orlando, and then we played DC. And man, even DC, we had a good game. You know, it was just it was one of those things. You know, man. And like I thought as a unit, the O-line, our DC was probably, because they were supposed to be, you know, they were like known as the best defense.
Right.
You know what I mean? And we was like, we went toe to toe, and then eventually leading the game, you know, at the end. And we took so much pride on that. We was on the sideline. We was like, bro, they call this the best D? Shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro, like when you're going against Greg Williams, you know, you're going against the GOAT. And like, you know, me, I played against that defense. I promise you, bro, I was that whole week of practice. I was like, look, man, they're down guys. They're, you know, 15, 48, you know, 99. I knew who the speed packages were. I knew who I was like, and I'm not saying this had anything to do with it. It was just, I was trying to give everything, you know what I mean? Yeah. And we all had something to play for. Oh my gosh. We were picking up everything. Yeah, they got a couple plays, but like, bro, we were picking up their pressures. We were picking up their down linemen. We knew who, like, there was a couple times we were calling out, like, some of our center and our tackles were calling out, hey, he coming. Oh, he not coming. You know what I mean? That's a beautiful feeling. Yeah. It boosts up the morale, and next you know, we kicking ass. Yeah. You know, what, 28-22. And we was on the sideline flexing, you know. I took that game personal. Every time we scored, I looked to that sideline. I said, I love it. I kid you not. When we took the lead, I walked all the way to that sideline. I was about maybe 10 yards away from that sideline, and I was mad dogging all of them. I was just, yeah, the horn, baby. And then, someone grabbed my arm, and it was one of the trainers like, "No, Big Mike, no, come on, we got." Well, that's your question. Yeah, it was hard, but very worth fighting for. It's always worth the fight. Yeah, sorry if I got sidetracked. Sorry.
No, it's good. Fine. Perfectly fine. So, while you were out there fighting on the field, your fans were in the stands fighting for you guys as well.
Absolutely.
Especially, obviously, not when you guys on offense are on the field, because everybody knows you're not supposed to make noise when your offense is on the field. That's been an ongoing discussion in our group for a while. Little inside joke. But when you were on the sidelines on the home side and defense was out there, how loud and crazy was it? I mean, I know you're not on the field. It's not really necessarily going to hype you up exactly the same, but how loud and crazy was it as a player, hearing our fans going crazy out there? What was it like?
It was the same energy. It was loud. I'm telling you, like, it was very loud to the point where I'm tired. I need to catch my breath, but it was so electrifying that I got up, still huffing and puffing. I even was like stood up and was like, "Let's go." Bro, they were like, I was looking at guys, like, the fans, guys, girls, in their eyes, and they're looking at me like, we got it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm getting goosebumps. I still remember that feeling.
Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, it's fun. It's fun. Like, football players, they go through all the training, the studying, the film, the lifting, the conditioning. We do all that to have fun on one game day. I'm telling you, the fans put the icing on the cake every time. Yeah. They make the fun 10 times. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh. And especially when you feel the love from them, you feel that just that connection. Like, it was my first year as a San Antonio Brahma. Or just, the team all collected. We all came to San Antonio. But man, they felt like we've been fans for years. Like, they wanted this for years. Oh my gosh. It's such a great environment. I promise you, man, if we went, that place would have been top notch, full to the rim.
100%. 100%.
If it was us, which we we were so close. Man, I knew if that was us in that championship game, that place would have been packed.
100%.
Well, and it probably would have been a better game too. I'm just saying. You
I,
know,
hey,
I'm a little biased, but
I'm a lot of bias. You know?
I'm with you, Mike. I'm with you. I would have 100% would have been a better
I
game.
concur, brother. Don't feel shame. You can say I'm a lot biased. You deserve to say that, man. You know?
Hey, but look, who you had though?
Huh?
Who you had for the championship game?
Where was I at?
No, who did you have? Who did you
Like,
pick?
Oh, I wanted Arlington to win, man. I,
Ooh,
like I said,
that's why I
I
got these
took,
shades on, man. I
I
told
the
him.
only reason why I wanted them to win because I had like three of my boys on there. I had a boy I played at West Virginia. He was the running back, Letty Brown. Me and him played together, and then we had my boy that I played with the New Jersey Generals in the USFL was the right tackle. Those were my guys. So like I'm talking about, we're
Yeah,
close.
yeah.
Like, I was cheering them
well,
on.
that's fair.
Yeah, I had a lot of friends on DC
hey,
too, but I have my reasons. You know what I mean for that one.
hey,
That's
and
fair.
yeah, and just like we have our reasons for kind of not wanting Arlington to have won that game, right? You had your reasons for them to win that game. So fair enough, man.
you got a watcher question.
well,
What was it like
like,
playing the Battlehawks week one?
were you with us week
I
one?
wasn't with the Battlehawks.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I wasn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
he wasn't with the Brahmas.
He wasn't with the Brahmas yet.
Yeah.
That was a cackling hyena from the X Fan show.
That's really her
That's crazy.
100%.
Love you, Amanda. Nah, but I mean, it was. I think one of the things that came out of the championship game also was that we're starting to see rivalries form between the teams, specifically between San Antonio and Arlington. I think for a lot of San Antonio fans, like, yes, they were cheering for Arlington because it was a Texas team, but it also left a bad taste in our mouth when we saw like Arlington wins like on our scoreboard and their colors on our turf. Like, it was just like, that should be us kind of thing. And
Oh,
I'll be
it definitely sucked watching two teams that don't belong there.
Oh, yeah.
Man. They were rented, and we had to watch them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that for me, like, that was one of the few times that I got universally booed in the Alamo Dome because I was holding up an anti-renegade sign, and I was right behind their bench. So
Good
it
man.
just
Good
like, oh yeah. So a lot of people, if you ask your friends on the Renegades, hey, did you see that mariachi guy with the renegade sign? Yeah, we good. We got you.
They
Can
should
you
have.
hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we can hear you. Yep.
I can't hear you guys.
Uh-oh.
Cut out for a little bit.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
can hear you.
We can hear you.
Oh crap!
Can you hear us? Okay.
He'll
Jump back in.
Okay, well, I'm going to jump in real quick, and I'm going to jump on Amanda's comment real quick. He definitely wants to be there at that game because he's going to be with the San Antonio Brahmas as we take it to the St. Louis Battlehawks and beat you guys in your house like you did us dirty in ours. Boom. Mark it down.
Yeah. We got someone saying that you want to be a Battlehawk next season, not a Brahma. And I'm like, ain't going to happen.
What was that? What was the question I missed? I'm sorry.
No, so we got someone saying that you want to be a Battlehawk next season, not a Brahma. So it's like, nah, you belong to us.
And Mike, I'm gonna do you even one better. When we go to St. Louis, if you do come back to San Antonio and you win that game in St. Louis, help us get that victory. I'm gonna take you to go get some. I'm gonna take you to go get some Ted Drew's ice cream. Amanda, mark it down. Ted Drew's ice cream. I'm gonna get it for him.
We're both gonna be there at that game. So if you're there, we're traveling.
I'll be bringing you
guys.
I'll be bringing you St. Louis's best ice cream that they have.
Fans not going to forget their ice cream. Trust me. That ice cream. Fans are not going to forget. They will be coming next year. Watch. They do not forget. Watch.
Yep.
Oh man.
Boss man, say no more.
No, but I guess before we don't want to take up too much of your time. I know it's Friday night, so one last question, and I don't know if you can answer it. So if you can't, I understand. But out there, what have you heard anything from the NFL? Any teams, giving your agent a call? Anything in the
So
pipeline?
actually, a couple of days ago, I was actually talking to my agent. He talked to about 3 or 4 teams, and the one thing about the NFL, like they will always ask about you, see how he's doing, interest, but the big part is pulling the trigger on it. If they really bring it, that's the real deal. And it's nice to have them ask about you and ask for film and have your agent tell. But I had a couple of teams. It was the Niners, the Panthers, the Giants, and I believe my last recent I got from my agent, he was saying the Patriots.
Oh,
Okay.
The who?
The
Hey,
Patriots.
he's a Patriots fan.
Hey,
Air high five. Air high five.
hey, let me get Bill on the phone real quick.
No, actually, you know what? No,
Let me get Bill on the phone real quick. Hey,
let me tell you, as an owner of the Green Bay Packers, I will do what I can to make sure that they give you a call. So, but if you happen to be in green and gold next season, or this upcoming NFL season, 2 of us here wouldn't mind. Just saying.
You've got 2 shareholders on the podcast with you right now.
Hey, Bill better make that call, man.
I said you've got 2 shareholders.
Two people who own the Green Bay Packers. So people like Jerry Jones, they're my peer and all that, so I got.
Yep.
I wouldn't mind at all. Actually, I would love it, but yeah, that's what I got from him. He said he was talking to those teams for me, and and I'm not afraid to share. It's just why not?
Yeah. Yeah, no, but wherever you end up, just know that San Antonio is behind you 100%. You will always have fans like that. This is what. So it's weird what the XFL has done to a lot of us as far as fans go.
Mm-hmm.
Because we before the season started, everyone had their allegiances to an NFL team. Now we're all under the same banner of the Brahmas, and we see guys like Jaquez going to Denver. We see guys like Luke going to Pittsburgh. Yep. Me personally, I'm really conflicted because Parker Romo he got signed by the Lions, and I'm a Packers fan. I became really good friends with his family, and I'm just like, oh man, like what am I gonna do? So like it's like, do I stay a fan or he's my friend now and like, oh man. But so like it's definitely given us a conflict as far as the NFL goes. But when it comes to the XFL, you guys are always gonna be Brahmas and we're always gonna be behind you no matter where you are. So just know that in San Antonio, no matter where you end up, even if it's against a rival of what so many people love here, the Cowboys, just know you will have fans in San Antonio pulling for you and for your success, my friend.
Man, much love, guys. And honestly, we as a team, teammates and the fans, like I speak for all the guys in the locker room. Like we truly do appreciate you guys, man. Like that's one of the things, like these are kind of my words to you guys, how much we appreciate that. Like we look forward when we're coming out there and seeing you guys. Like we of course it's an obligation. It's what we're supposed to do to entertain you guys and win for you guys. But we take that meaning to like a whole new level. Like that's how we feel. Like coming out, like, hey man, the fam's here. Let's put on a show for them. Like even when we're down, we're on the side like, no, we gotta put on a show for you guys. You win or lose, we're gonna try to ball out for you guys. Of course, we want the W. You know what I mean?
Right.
We wanted them our last 4 or 5 games. We was fighting for them. And we're gonna fix the little itty bitty things. You know what I mean? We're gonna fix it for you guys, and we're gonna ball out.
Yes, you will. Yeah. Yes, you will.
And there's been a request here that before we let you go to show my piece. Well, it depends. I want to make sure the piece on my arm, not my piece.
Hey,
so
it's PG.
Yeah. So you guys left such an impact on me that I got the horns tattooed right here with the B here on the back, like y'all's helmets, and then I put my own little touch on there with the sombrero on there. So it's got the little
Get a little closer, Jorge.
Yeah, there we go. See, there you go. There you go. Right there. So
and then show the inside.
then we got the inside right there with the
Is that the
B. Yeah.
Yep, that's the
yeah?
Brahmas
So just
B.
like y'all's
Bro,
helmet, so
nice.
branded for
Nice.
life.
Hey, so tell them it's real, man. We real over here.
Yeah,
Yep.
we take it seriously down here. So I
Yo,
think that if my mom and dad are watching, I'm sorry, mom and dad, because that's the first time they just saw the tattoos. I just disappointed my parents.
oh no.
No, but Mike, thank you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us. We really appreciate it, and
Guys.
we'll let you go and enjoy your Friday night, and just know, like I said, wherever you end up in the NFL, hopefully we'll be cheering for you. Well, you got San Antonio's rooting for you, and if
100%.
we see you back here in San Antonio, we will have your ice cream ready.
Yes.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
Much love, boys.
All right,
Yes, sir.
Mike,
Love
I
it.
love you, man.
Mike,
Love
thank you,
you.
man. Appreciate you. God
Thank you, man.
bless.
All right, take care.
Take care. Yeah, bye.
Yeah, no, such an awesome guy. I
Yeah,
love it.
that
That's
man.
Yes.
that's why I love offensive linemen, man. Offensive linemen are so passionate. And one of the things that I really loved that he said, and it made a huge difference, I could tell by at the end of the season. Jack Cohn looked so much more comfortable and confident behind his offensive linemen. And I think doing little things like what he said is going up and saying, I'm going to do everything I can to the best of my abilities to protect you. Like that means a lot to a quarterback. And also, I mean, just taking pride in what he did. Like I could tell he was just so proud to be on that offensive line. And like, oh man, it just brought back so many memories for me and personally. And I love offensive linemen. Like they're the best.
Yes. So, uh, one thing that you had said before that I definitely wanted to build off of, you're talking about us kind of all coming under, all these different football fans coming under the Brahmas banner, right?
Yeah.
That tailgate was a perfect opportunity to show all of us from all of our different football backgrounds, different NFL teams, different XFL experiences and whatever, and all just coming under this 2023 XFL banner, right? We've got Dirty Toro, that's a Vikings fan. You've got Chris, that's a Packers fan, along with us. I mean, you've got Cowboys fans like Jackie and several others.
Patriots
None of
fans.
Patriots fan right up here, right? None of that matters right now. And I would even argue that as we're getting ready to start up the NFL season and everything, it probably doesn't mean as much as it did before this XFL season started, right? Because we're all bonded together under this new league. I mean, this new league, as you've said several times before, Jorge, this new league has really changed a lot of perspectives. And so obviously we're all chomping at the bit for season 2, but I'm excited to see what it's going to do for the fan base, right? We said some of this stuff offline. Our fan group is going to keep the party going, right? Our show is the off-season mode, but we're not truly in the off-season, right? We've still got big things planned. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that supplemental draft is going to be televised, so we're not really going to be able to do anything for that, but we are 100% in the works, making plans to have off-season parties. There's probably going to be at least 2 before we do the official XFL draft in October? Was it something like that?
Yeah, we'll have a couple of in-person events for sure. Like we want to make sure we don't want it to be where we don't see each other until next February. Like we want to make
Right.
sure we stay together and
Mhm.
continue this camaraderie that we've spent the past couple months building up, just so that way when it comes next February, it's like a giant bomb ready to explode because we've just continued to be friends. It's like I've said before, it's going to be like a family reunion. It's not going to be strangers meeting for the first time. So
Right.
we'll definitely continue to
Exactly.
do that, which is actually a good segue into kind of like our next one of the last things that I wanted to talk about here is a couple things that we have up our sleeves for this podcast in particular. Obviously, you can't really talk too much football when there's not football going on. But one of the things that we did do and kind of learned from the tailgates is that, other fan bases have their own cultures and have their own things that they do, just like we as Brahmas do, you know? And I think that at the championship, that was the first opportunity for the entire league as one, multiple fan bases come together and learn a little bit more about each other's culture, each other's customs, what they do for their games, for their team. And so what we've decided is we're going to have and invite fans like that are like the crazy fans that you've probably seen on ESPN. We want to have them on the show and ask them, what's it like being a fan where you're from? What got you to be that character? Because that's one of the things that is very special about the XFL is that as great as fun as the games are, there's a lot of characters in the stands that have bring a very unique personality, and we want to get to know them and just continue uniting the fan bases as one XFL family. So we have a couple things. We have a couple people of you know lined up already for you guys. So stay tuned for that. We are moving the show though to once a week, so it will be on Fridays. We're not doing Mondays and Fridays until the season starts up again, just because we want to make sure that if we're going to bring you content, we're not just out here talking out our butts.
Right.
Right.
So but yeah, we do want to just continue to meet the rest of the fans, meet the fan bases, let them know who the Brahmas fans are, and then let the Brahmas fans know who our opponents are, but ultimately who our members are of the XFL family. We all stay together.
We're just planning, man, to touch each fan base. That's what we can
Right.
do right now. We can just touch each fan base. Other than what we said, Vegas don't have us like fans that have reached out. I guess we
Yeah.
still looking for Vegas people to reach out to, but
So if anybody knows like a crazy
yeah.
Vegas fan or even just a fan from Vegas,
Because there's so many scores coming in and out, they just probably stop and be like, "Oh, it's a football game happening over here. Let's go watch." So then they're gone the next week. So it's
yeah,
hard.
like it's I didn't run into any like Vegas super fans when I went. And I know we saw one guy who was wearing a Viper shirt at the
No, Jackie.
at the tailgate, and we all just went nuts. We're like, Vegas is here, yes, finally.
Yeah.
That was the missing puzzle piece, and once we got them, that. So if anyone who's a Vegas fan or knows a Vegas fan,
Yeah.
please send them our way. We would love to have them on the show.
And then yeah, man, that's all we just doing, just touching different fan bases. We all
Yes.
come together collectively as this is like more so like a community
Right.
of just like families and families of different areas. It's like it's it, but that's
Yeah.
that's the opportunity that we're gonna just jump out to and reach and see if we can, just make it better. Like at least have something for y'all for the summer. That's the
Right.
goal, man.
Yeah, and then as people start getting signed to the 53-man roster, in the fall, we'll start following them, and we may have some watch parties for players and games of our guys, wherever they land, when that time comes, and then we'll make sure it's a venue that has multiple TVs. So if you don't want to watch Parker Romo kicking for the Lions, but you want to watch the Dallas Cowboys do what they do, you can go and do that as well. So
No, we're not going to take any shots at Dallas tonight, Jackie. Don't
No.
worry about it.
I had one on the way, but I stopped myself.
Don't let it go.
All right.
If I can cheer for the Lions of all team as a Packers fan, it's all good. Like I said, we're all united under these colors right here. So, yeah, it'll be fun. And like I said, it's just another opportunity for all of us to continue to get together and stay together here in San Antonio. While we anxiously await the very, very first season 2 of the XFL. So with that said, we're at the hour, fellas. Any final words for our friends before we let them go?
Yes, one thing.
I better not
It's
be.
a
I told you
reason
so.
why I'm wearing
Oh
these
my god.
shades, man. It's a
Oh my
reason
god.
why I'm not. Hey, I told them. I said, watch. Arlington is going to win this game, and y'all going to come on here, and then y'all going to say, "Oh, it was Arlington, the fans, the wave." Da, da, da. No, I told y'all that Arlington was going to win. These are my I told you so shades. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Listen
Well,
to
I'm glad
me.
that's all you're saying because you
Listen
said
to
it for
me.
about 20 minutes now. So
I gotta remind y'all. I told you so.
yes,
Give
the
it to
Alamo
me.
basement was sunny, 100%. Here's what I would say.
They had one
Right.
window down there. The sun was coming right through. Yep.
And this is what I'm gonna say right here. Just as a reminder, remember that's still a thing. So just saying, right there, that sign, I'm still gonna have it, and I'm definitely taking it with me to
And you
Arlington
gonna
next
have a
year.
whole lot of booze.
Oh, keep it coming, keep it coming. I loved it. I loved it.
It'll be fine. So, as we are transitioning and watching players sign, right? DC Arlington's players are now available to be contacted by agents and stuff. So we probably talked about it before, but there are several players that are getting picked up, for XFL minicamp, or I'm sorry, NFL minicamps. I'm sure there's going to be some added ones from DC and from Arlington. So, let's keep an eye out for all these guys. Keep pulling for them. Hopefully, they get their break. They make it into the NFL. Maybe some of those Arlington players play for the Packers, and we're okay with that. I mean, I guess we'll have to work all that out.
I want to have a
But,
winning team. I'm just saying.
well, we're going to have a winning team in San Antonio next year, 2024,
Right.
baby. Horns
Yes.
forward.
Horns forward. So
That's
as we
all I'm
finish
going to
it,
say.
we finish it like we always do. Horns forward, everybody. We'll see you next week. I'll be broadcasting live from Mexico next week, so I will see y'all in Mexico.
Arriba!
So if my internet connection isn't as great, there you go. That's why.
Andale! Horns forward, baby. Let's go.
Horns forward. Good night, everybody. Have a good weekend, and